Hello, hello, and we should be live. Okay, let's give it a moment till someone shows up. If no one will, welcome to the stream. Anyway, who is going to watch that in recording? And let's get back to what we were doing last time. Okay, that is our Cerise 93 Wagon file that we are almost done processing all those extra bits. So we have those two seats processed now. Yeah, and they're in static collection. And we have back seats that also need to be processed. So same deal as with front seats. Let's start by selecting all those diagonals. X to dissolve them. Now let's select all of those. Scale by Shift X to scale them except along X axis. Press 0 to cancel out all the differences, and there we go. Now all of those lines, they are straight. And make sure you selected these individual origins before you do that, because like in this mode, if you try to do this, they will just collapse all in one line. So make sure individual origins. Next stuff is Control R and select down the middle, scale by X to 0. So it's perfectly straight. Good. And now we can cut it in two. So select faces, all of those, separate into its own object. Select all those, duplicate, separate selection, and so with those two, let's join them. Scale X 0, move X 1 here. And that should weld it in place. Edge, set sharpness by angle, and make sure those two are not sharp. Alt N, average by base area. Hello, hello to whoever is watching. Welcome to the stream. Now, just like we did before, we need to make sure we have proper textures set up. So let's aim our camera so all the vertices are kind of distinct. UV, project from here. No, select all of that. UV, project from here. So now you can see that image in the texture. It resembles what we were looking at here. So now we know which vertex is which and where to move that. So that one goes around here, that one goes around here, that one goes here, that one goes in here, that one, yeah, that looks like the bottom piece. So they go a bit wider, that one here, that one here. Okay. And finally that one. messed something up. Oh, yeah, that's the thing I messed up, because you should be using this texture instead. Okay, here we are. Okay, so that thing needs to be more in line here. And that's our chair. Call that a day. Okay, that's fine. Now we need to select this side, duplicate it, separate it, and those two now need to be joined. Oh, no, those two now need to be joined. So climb here, and set sharpest by angle. DB project from view. Okay, so that bit goes here, that bit goes here, bit in a little bit, and that goes here, that goes here, and that one here, and here. Those two are here, and let's make that that, and final touch, remove like that. Okay. And once again, let's use correct material here. Oh, we cannot delete it. Okay. Yeah, that dot can be moved a bit more vertical, right? Yeah. So that's our seat. Alt N average by base pair. It's not perfect, but it suits our need. Let's copy that name. Yeah, that is our rear. I said the left seat, and you are our rear right seat. So, do we have more objects that need reworking? Yeah, I don't really dig this red interior, but what you gonna do about it? That is fine. Actually, we can do something about it. Let's select all of that, all of that. Okay, well, I guess that, okay, yeah, let's mark the root 2, even though that's hardly ever gonna be visible. Oh, and what's up with this cut here? Oh, nothing to worry about, I guess. So, all of that, we can see it's all spaced here to be like some interior color, just this texture is not interior color friendly. And we don't really need it to be some fancy color, so we can just select all of that, move it in here, rotate it around that way, and oh, well, that's a bit off-putting. So yeah, that doesn't even have this as our interior friendly area. Okay, so let's move you maybe here. Let's clump you into one point. So that's not the best texture work, but it serves. And it will be inherited by this vehicle too. Good, good. Now, what else do we need? Well, obviously we want all those parts to be animated. And in order to do that, let's add our armature. Layout, Shift A, create armature. That is that armature has this bone. Our central bone is usually called our vehicle bone. Sorry for caps. And not bendy bones. Yeah, I wanted to edit this to be more sensible side. Okay, but we want more bones. The first bone, let's select this hood, select those corners as our pivot point, move cursor to select it so it's in the middle of those, select armature, edit, Shift A to add a bone, you are hood bone. Once again, let's give you sensible size. Next, let's take those 2 points as our pivot. That is our trunk bone. Give it the size. And now door and window bones. So those two are our pivot. And front left door bone. You are for left window bone. And let's give you size even smaller a bit, and here under relations let's mark that this is your parent. Now they are connected by this thin line, and any modification to this bone will be inherited here. Well, applied here using this offset, which is going to be helpful if we want this window to not stay back when the door gets opened. Those two should pass. Let's add. You are on the left door bone. The size. It's such shape as correctly selected. Add this bone. Is earlier left window bone. One. Set parent. That's also done. Okay. And the final door window combination. Cosette selected. The right door bone. You should be a bit bigger. And you need to be that small. Right, let's capitalize there. Window bone with parent set. Okay, so that's all of our armature. Now we need to hook all the parts to where they belong. Let's start with this hood bone. Let's copy the name, select this part, go to mesh data, vertex group, create, edit based on this bone, go to edit, select all and assign. Now that hood is, can follow this bone. It would not yet because we're missing one final component here, but at least it's ready now. Same deal here, select this bone, let's copy, exit edit mode, add let's add this group, select all, assign to it. Now this window, it also needs to have animations based on this trunk bone and have everything assigned to it. Good. Next bone would be this one. Let's copy a name. Add vertex group, edit, select all, assign. This bone, select name. Select all and assign. by the way, do you like a rim world? I know I probably mentioned it last time that I'm currently running a game of RimWorld that got me so inspired that I started writing a diary of my main survivor. And man, is she beaten up by now, but at least she's still alive and kicking. Okay, there is that, and almost done with vertex groups. So let's copy this phone name. Let's paste it here, assign everything to that group, and now copy that phone name and vertex group and assign everything. Good. All of those are now assigned. So final touch we have to do is select all those objects, then control click to make armature active object. So all the supportant objects are this reddish highlight and armature is a yellowish highlight. Then cursor over viewport, Control P, so set parent to armature deform. Now this whole collection collapsed into this armature, and every item got this modifier here. Armature modifier that is targeting correct armature. So now all those bits can be animated. So let's select armature, go to armature section. Here, let's go to action editor, create new action called hood underscore closing. So we want hood to be closed at the end of this animation. So end of this animation is gonna be frame 41. Let me move it like that. Yeah, about that. Okay, so frame 41 is our end of animation, and I'm interested in this bone. So let's hover over location, press I to remember it as a keyframe, and rotation. I remember it as a keyframe. So now those dots appeared here. We can skip a long timeline because nothing changes so far. We have only one keyframe. So that is where we want hood to be open. So let's go to side view and press R to rotate this bone till that makes sense how much open it is. And all those changes, let's press I to remember those. Now, since we have two keyframes, as we go along timeline, it can interpolate between those. So that is one way you can set up animation, but there's like you might not always like the result you're getting. Another bit how you can work with animations is to let's go to dope sheets, action editor. There is a way to set this to be a curves editor. Yes, it should be here. Oh no. Yeah, maybe, yeah, that got moved somewhere else here. Anyway, I will show you when I figure it out. For now, let's just be happy that that works. Okay, so that animation here is now exists. It is linked to this armature, but I'm afraid I can accidentally unlink it from armature. And if I do this, what will happen is when I close Blender and then reopen it, this animation will not be saved to the file and will be lost, which is not what we want to happen. So let's hit this shield. So that means this animation will be saved with the file no matter what. Now let's copy animation because there's no other way to create another action here. So let's name it trunk closing. So we don't want this bone to be mentioned here. We want to work with this bone, but just as before, that is our closed position, and that is our open position. And we have something strange going on. So we can see that this window now correctly is animated by this bone, but not this trunk. Armature here is selected, but here we can see that, yeah, this bone name here has a typo. So fix it, and that fixes this animation. Well, this part, so we can correctly follow animations. Move here, that's okay. Once you can save this, and now let's go to here, door, front, left, closing. So that animation here is related to this door. So we don't want this bone. Hover over this list of bones and press X to delete everything selected. Now with that bone, that is our closed position. Go to top view, go to first frame, rotate, and that's gonna be our open position. Save, copy, rename it to front right, closing, drop this bone info, select this bone, save keyframe 1, move to close keyframe, move to open keyframe, just eyeball it, and that's our second animation clip. Save, copy, so you are door rear right closing, not that bone, that bone, save, move here, rotate that, save, copy, and rear left closing. Okay, not that bone, that bone, save, save. Okay. Well, that's all our doors, hood, and trunk animations done. And technically, yeah, we can call that a day and import those into the game, and it will show all removable parts. It will show some animations, but it would not show one type of animations when window is getting rolled down. So let's make another clip for window rear left, and for windows I use open animations instead. So that's not related to this phone, it's this one. So let's go to orthogonal view here. Let's move cursor and line it up with this line here. That's gonna be a bit important later. To select this one, to move, and try to move it down, keeping that side lined up here, but try to not poke it outside here. Now, that looked decently from that side, but kinda looks atrocious from here. So let's move along x-axis to get you like here, I guess is good enough. But now that part is sticking out. So select 3D cursor pivot mode, rotate around y-axis, and reposition this window so it doesn't stick through this door here. It sticks this way, which is not perfect, but I guess that's like the best we can do under those conditions. Okay, so that is our open position for this window. Let's save this keyframe. Open frame for window animations is 21. Well, that's just an arbitrary number that I'm comfortable with. You can set it to wherever you like. Now, that should be closed state for this window. So since we already modified it, we keep those offsets here, but we can erase them by hitting backspace here. So that is like all those movements cancelled out, and we can now save this as a keyframe and interpolate between those to have this window animation, window roll down animation. It's a bit wonky, but it kinda works. At least with this window. If we were working with a more sophisticated engine, we could have made this window also deform and bend in a way to like prevent those weird clippings, but I am kinda sure Zomboid is not comfortable working with shape keys, so we'll leave it at that. Now save that animation clip, change it to rear right window, open, so not with this bone, with this bone, and save that as our closed position, move here, and same deal. Okay, now move along x-axis to match here. Now move our 3D cursor here, rotate around y-axis, pivoting around 3D cursor like so. Okay, so we are sticking a little bit here, which is not ideal, I'd say. So let's try to avoid that. Okay. Yep, that position works. So let's save that as our view keyframe, and that's our animation clip. Save and copy and window front right. So forget this bone, use this bone. Okay, so that's a pretty steep angle here, but let's try to follow it. Along X. Rotate around Y axis. Okay, so that's our open position for that window. And you know what? I want you to rotate around Z axis a little bit too. So you're more in line with this open. So a little bit more rotation along Y. Okay, so that helps. Now, that is our open position, which should be frame 21. We forgot to move our timeline. Now let's cancel all of that. Let's save that as keyframe, and that clip is ready. Save, copy, front left window. Drop this bone, select, no, put cursor here, select that bone. Orthographic view, move that way. Okay, so do I want to rotate it? Yeah, I do. Rotate around Z axis. It like so. Move along X to bridge this gap and move along Y to like, not stick out. Okay, save. Move to correct time position. Drop, save, save, and that is our final clip. So, all animation clips are done, all animations are set up, so that vehicle is basically ready. Well, as ready as it can be. So let's make everything visible, hide this raw collection, save, I said save this file. Let's check one thing though. Okay, so those scales, they are fine here, fine here. Okay, everything is positioned correct. Let's just to be sure. Let's apply all transforms. Okay. Save, export FBX, use our saved preset, find correct folder where we put all the vehicles, and here. Okay. Thank you, bot. Please leave this chat now. PZK Cerise 93 Wagon FBX. Yeah, that's a good name. So, this preset of settings is what we use always when we export to FBX format. So we only are interested in mesh and armature objects. Tick this only visible objects. That's less important for this particular file because we just do one export and all. But when we had to like split it into separate static, separate animated bits, separate lights, separate body sizes, having this on helps. Now with geometry, apply modifiers, yeah, that's correct. With armature, untick this add leaf bones because otherwise it will consider the endpoints of bones as their own separate objects and kinda export too much. Zomboid does not need this. With animations, leave this checkbox on, cancel all the rest, and simplify is set to like 0.1 instead of 1. Okay, so export, that is good. Now we need to move to adding text. Okay, so that's our text project. We have a bunch of scripts set up. So we want a vehicle that is of 4 doors and a trunk, and it is we I believe have a Chevrolet Cerise somewhere here. Okay, here, for example, this sedan animated. So we can oh, that's probably gonna be a bit too much. Well, not to worry, we'll just delete some excess, wouldn't we? And maybe we can kinda optimize that a bit. Not that we should. Mm, yep, okay. So let's Control C, Control V to copy this file. Now let's rename it into... Oh, no. What am I doing? Let's drop this file. That vehicle types we are working with is a station wagon. So that is what we should use as our template. Let's go. Station wagon animated. Control C, Control V, rename. So let's call it PZK Series 93 Station Wagon Animated. Yay! So here, Series 93. And file name, where we exported it. That should be from models, PZK Series 93 Wagon. That's the name, copy, paste here. Yeah, actually, let's replace all the mentions of this PZK normal in this file with Cerise Wagon. That would be a bit easier. Okay, so we don't need those two base meshes, we will have those models. Oh, just for rear doors. Yeah, that's not fun. I want... Where is this? Sit down animated. So we need to copy some doors from here. So we want door front left, door front right, window front left, window front right. Copy and paste. And just for consistency, let's keep doors together and let's keep windows together. Like so. So gap here, no gap here. Okay, now those doors and windows, let's make sure they are using correct file. And those names, yeah, we kept them the same. Those names, we kept them the same. So that's why it is important to standardize your names. And you don't have to tinker with those even a tiny bit. Now, trunk. Uh, that is, oh, and all those models, yeah, let's get this Wagon Cerise 93 and change that as our prefix. Okay, oh, with those, yeah, we don't want them to mention this wagon here, to be honest. Okay, and trunk, and rear window, and we have two more rear lights. Oh, by the way, I believe we have more than one of those wagon types. Are they both use the same headlights? That's not what I'm sure of, so let me double check. Okay, and we lost our internet connection. I really hope that comes back sometime soon. Internet shows it is working. It's just OBS for some reason decided to crap out. Uh, okay, and it kind of failed my stream key. So, unless I restart OBS, in which case I would have to stitch back recordings together to have one VOD for YouTube. That's not gonna happen. So I'll just keep this as a recording only. So yay, YouTube exclusive content. Anyway, that is our list of vehicles, and nope, I think we have just Wagon and Wagon lights. So we don't have to worry about multiple versions of lights. Cool. Let's get back to text. Okay, so those are just rear lights. So let's find here. Let's copy some front lights from somewhere else. Um, let's use correct import files for those. Okay, and from here, yeah, that's just templates. Though templates also need to be Wagon Series 93, Wagon, oh, rapier lights. Well, no, we don't need rapier lights. So those lights can get removed. Those two models also. TWD also get removed. And now that one, let's rename you to Series 93. Animate doors. Okay. That is fine. Save. And with those lights, yep, let's make sure that one is... Oh, okay, so you are still not renamed properly. Here, 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 and yep, this series is now kinda excessive. Okay, so that is our front left light, that is our front right light, that is our rear left light, and the rear right light. Good. Now trunk. That is our trunk object. Let's copy that, and that should be our door object. Do we have such door object? Yep, and we have two mentions in the file. Now same here, two mentions. So let's two mentions of that, two mentions of that. Only one mention of that. Okay, so that hood is not here, and I'm afraid that is indeed correct because we haven't copied this hood model from here. Copy and paste here. So copy that name, paste it in here, copy that object, paste it in here, and now that hood is here and here. That's correct. Now Windows. Two mentions, two mentions, two mentions, two mentions, one mention. Okay, windshield. Windshield is also not imported. Okay, let's grab it from here too. Move up, move before this rear window, windshield. Let's get file name. Let's get the right prefix. Yep, and that's the right name. Okay, that is good. Windshield. That goes here. Control F, two mentions. Now seats. Okay, seats are a bit different breed. So yeah, we'll have to make sure they are using this prefix here. But for seats, yeah, this interior too. But for all of those seats, we'll have to copy a different file. I believe that would be this one from normal models texture. Control C, Control V, rename, normal models. Well, that's not normal. That's gonna be C93 Wagon models textured. And here it's here we want just like with those models, use that as our prefix. For all those parts. That's okay, and now file name here, and now final bit of import is what we need from Blender. So if we go to UV text editing, here we can see that, yeah, that one has no seat. It has engine though. So that name here we can use for engine block. Let's copy that, and for interior, let's paste it here and cut out this extension. Now, why do we have, yeah, because we had two interior versions. One can go away. Now, for seats. That texture is not gonna work. And here we have no seats. But on this, yes, here with this sedan shell, we have engine in wildly different spot compared to this, but we also have seat textures. So let's take that file name and paste them here instead of, well, without this extension. Let's copy and paste it like that. Because those seats we remapped to use this texture instead. Well, the engine is still using this texture. Okay. So that should be that. So if we copy this name, we have one mention in this file and we have one mention here. Yay, us. Okay. Battery. Battery is something I forgot in Blender. Oh, sorry. Here. Now, with battery, we have those offsets, but they are not necessarily matching what we have for this model. So, going to Blender, let's conceal all the animated parts so we can see this engine block clearly. And I want to select this raw collection, file, import, FBX, from those PZK battery. So that is our battery object, and we want to move it to where it should be to check out what the offsets are. So that's correct position from top view, and that is about right position from this side, though that kind of gives me a bit of a problem. So if we move it up till it barely doesn't stick above this hood, like so, and then hide it. Yeah, that battery is still a little bit too submerged here, which isn't good, but we can work with that. So, for example, if we take our knife tool, then cut a shape like that, make sure they're anchored here, slide those vertices to the sides, let's cut here as well. So that is fine, I guess. Now take that face here, go extrude, and go down to about here. Maybe go a little bit deeper, like so. Okay. And with those extrusions of those two vertices, they don't need to be extruded like that. So we added some bit of geometry to this engine area just to reveal this battery to its, well, fully. Now that collection is hidden, that one is visible. File, save, file, export, FBX, save name, re-export. Okay. And now that geometry should allow us to see this better. But more importantly, we want those values from here. So X value goes in here, but because of coordinates shift, we need to invert it. Yeah, and we don't need this M here. Next, second value is taken from this bit here. It's third coordinate in Blender, but once again, we are changing coordinate systems, so it goes in second position. And finally, the third value, let's copy it from Blender from this. Once again. And yeah, that is our correct battery position. Save and done. That is our script for this vehicle. What we are now left with is having to add animations profile here. Create animations profile, tow truck. Well, not tow truck. Let's get correct vehicle ID. It's this one, Cerise 93. Paste in here. Next goes base model. That one. Next goes lights template. That one. Next is animation door animations template. Goes here, and since we are still working with wagons, let's grab this Chevalier Cerise wagon. Do we have it here? Yep, this Cerise station wagon. Let's grab that bit. Like so. Save. Okay, and we're ready to test this vehicle in game. Let me start it. And yeah, that start is gonna take a while, but I can try to pause the recording. So let me try and see if I don't forget to unpause it. And here we are. Okay, that's the middle of the night, so you probably don't see that well. Let's speed up time till it's done. Now let's make sure the time is an appropriate speed. And yeah, that was the last vehicle we worked on last time, and it's all done except this floorboard missing, which I am going to leave be for now. So let's add the vehicle we just created. Spawn vehicle. Let's search for 93 Chevalier Series 93 Wagon. Spawn and okay. That is somewhat successful, I guess. So we have seats that are poorly textured I might want to go and revisit those. We have front doors, please give me a key, that are animated. We have front windows that are animated. That is all good. We have this windshield. We don't have rear doors here. We don't have the vehicle body. We don't have trunk. What's up with that? I guess object names, that's where it's at. So here. Now, by the way, yeah, and kinda, let me see, audio, play music when paused. Oh, streamer mode, what does it do? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Let's enable that. Okay, and about music, let's actually have Zomboid music play here. So, what I suspect is I have messed up those object names, like here. That name, object name is correct. That file import name is wrong. So, let's put those here. And object name is wrong. That's just door rear left, rear right. Now those windows names are correct. That window name is correct, I guess, but since those doors were missing, it got scuffed too. Okay, now this trunk wagon object, no wagon, that is just trunk object. Windshield rear window, once again, that is not a wagon specific rear window, that is just rear window. Now, what about lights? Yes, those two lights and those qualifiers for wagon here, they are wrong. Okay, so that should fix this issue. Now, another thing is we have a fire variant, which normally we would make a separate no random template, well, separate no random file, but I want to do something before that. So let's make another template here called Cerise 93 shared. So what is going to be shared across random and no random colored vehicles? First of all the windows. That's kind of doesn't depend on body color. Then all those seats, battery and interior, all of that can go into this template instead. And this template now can be referenced from this template using this template exclamation mark command here. So that's one thing. Now let's copy this file. Let's rename it into animated no random, and let's drop everything that is not no random specific. So here we want this to be a lights vehicle. If we go to Blender and check this object name, let's copy it, paste here. Oh, yeah, and with that I also forgot that our main body object name, it also needs to be set like this. Okay, save and save. Well, that gonna be a bit of an issue, but for later. For now, let's drop those windows. Let's keep this hood and trunk objects. Let's drop windows, lights, and shared template. All of that. Okay. That is now done. We want all those all model names to have an NR suffix. That we paste to the end of every model name. And model names here also should use this no random variant. And engine door too. Okay, and shared bit as well. That's almost everything except one thing. We want to use this shader instead. So let's change all dimensions of this shader with this into this shader. Save. Okay, and since they are not really the same vehicle, well, they barely use anything, they barely have anything in common. Let's instead of cloning animations profile, reuse, make the full command here. Let's copy that name, paste here. That's your base name. Lights are the same, and now that template name, let's rename it into a no random. Paste it in here and save it. And let's restart the game now. So close it. And play it. And once again, I'll try to. And we're back in game. So, vehicle interior sedan. So we are still missing something. Not that much now. Okay, so we're missing this, but we are also missing. We have something wrong with those door colors. And I guess trunk is also somewhat scuffed. Okay, what is wrong with trunk? I have a guess. What is wrong with those doors? I don't. But we'll figure it out. Anyway, debug main spawn vehicles. Let's search for 93 Wagon fire spawn. Okay, so that one is worse. So what do we do about that? Let's double check what we have. Let's pause that and double check what we have about those doors. That is here, but not here. Let's see, text. Oh, yeah, one obvious thing I am missing here is this interior. Wagon Cerise internals, that should be the name. If we go to the file, this file, that is the name. And this vehicle's interior sedan, that might be the problem because yeah, it is just vehicle's interior. So that is one issue. That would hopefully be fixed now. Another issue is trunk. Here. Trunk has upper bone, lower bone, and vehicle bone, which is incorrect. We only have one trunk bone. And same deal with this rear window. So fix it here and fix it in here for this trunk. Okie dokie. Now, that shared bit here, that should not get in our way. That is curious. So, all those doors, they are here. That is how they are specified. Vehicle bone, that's the shader. Vehicle, multi-UV, no reflect, that's fine. Door, front left object. And I distinctly remember that last time we were here, hood and this door, they were colored correctly, weren't they? And now they aren't. Okay. What about that? Oh, we also kinda lost those rear windows. We'll have to deal with that later. Well, at some point. Here we are. Let's see, no random. That one is mentioned twice. That one is mentioned twice. That's all okay. Models. I would definitely have this model here. What about that? Animations. Because that bit there, it looks like we are, for some reason, using no random variants here too. So for some reason that template got used here. Well, they are close enough, but they're not the same, are they? Well, maybe I forgot to save some changes here, and that did redefine those models. No random motif, reflect. Okay, that's fine. That's all fine. That template. No results here. One result here. That's this one. Okay, let's restart the game. I'm kind of worried because I don't know what's going on, and that has me nervous. Okay, please load. Okay, yeah. Apparently, it was me forgetting to save something in the files. So now we have those two vehicles set up correctly, animated, but missing those windows here. Which is fine. We know how to deal with those. Let's try to check that. Okay, there is some broken geometry here we might want to look at. Okay. Oh. So let's see. Yeah, there's definitely something wrong with geometry here. Let's try to see here. Let's go. How do you call it? This face orientation enabled, back face culling, and yeah, those two faces are facing wrong way. So we want to flip them. And that's what was throwing off our detection of sharp edges last time. Okay, that's one thing. Do we want to fix anything else? No, I don't think we do. So disable that face orientation, enable back face culling. Cool. Save and export, FBX, re-export, and since that's a FBX file, it can be pulled straight into game to fix things. And you can see that, yeah, that gap is gone. Now, those windows. To fix them, we'd have to modify scripts. So, going back to text. Here we have this rear window modal. Let's change it here and nope, don't drop modal, rear windows, static. We need this extra modal here. And the object name going to be rear window as object. Like here in Blender, we have this rear window as object. That's what we are missing. Right. Just to be sure, let's paste it here. That's fine. It doesn't need to be this static false. It doesn't need those bounds. It's a static object. Let's copy that. Let's go to our shared template. Let's find our windshield rear. And let's first of all paste it here, but then copy that definition, paste it here, and call this modal windshield static. Oh, let's call that static, and let's call that default. Save, and after that, this rear window should be fully there. And we can officially mark those two vehicles down. But I'm not gonna rush it for now. I am gonna check what is next on the agenda. So that's our list. We have Chevalier Cosette Cabrio. Okay, that's fine. Let's import that into new Blender file. That one is hopefully now done for good. Let's go new, general file, select all, delete all. Let's call that collection static. Let's file, import, FBX. For all those source files, let's do Cosette, no, let's make it cool. Chevalier Cosette Cabrio. So that is our vehicle. Control A, apply all transforms. Sorry, I have to sneeze. Okay, dirty. Now, what's with the material for it? Let's try to set it as image texture. Find texture. So all the textures are here. Nope. Cabrio, no. Okay. Let's deal with it correct way. So how do we do this? We go here to all those vehicle definitions. Chevalier, muscle cabrio, no, not muscle cabrio. What's it called? Chevalier Cosette Cabrio. Chevalier Cosette Cabrio. Vehicle sports car shell. Okay, that's a bit of an issue because that's a vanilla texture. That's not from that mod. So let's go here. Do we have vanilla textures open? I believe this one, yes. That one is that. So we want a sports car shell. And instead of straight alpha, set alpha to none. And shift this viewport to texture. Okay, so that's a Cabrio version of a sports car from vanilla. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. And I want it to actually be, to have some things in common with the standard vehicle. Well, standard sports vehicle. So how do I want to do that? I don't think I have a standard vehicle setup here. Yeah, let's import standard sports car here too. So, do we have like sports car, Franklin Stadium Sport? No, that has to be vanilla. Go up, go up. Let's see, Model X, vehicles, sport, sport car, FBX. Yes. Well, that message here, it says that we can only import binary FBX files, and this vanilla car is in ASCII FBX. So, how do we deal with that crap? Let's go to screen. Let's see, new folder and FBX to FBX convert. Okay, free online Autodesk FBX to FBX converter. Let's try this one, or one of those links. I believe it was that one, but maybe not that one. Let's also try this one. One of those links allowed us to load this ASCII FBX file online and then download its binary equivalent. Binary, no worries. Okay, but for some reason my connection is being super slow. Okay, yeah, that one is that. So, file import FBX. Let's take this folder. Find correct model name. Your vehicle, car, sports or sports car. Where is it? Sports car FBX. Drop it here and FBX convert now. So wait a second. Oh, a couple seconds. And after that, it should offer us to download. Here it is. Download now. And now from downloads, let's go to Blender. If we go to downloads, is it not yet downloaded fully? Yeah, that should be here. See, users, user download, import FBX, downloads, yeah, there it is. And that's the vehicle. Okay, so first thing you notice is they are sized a bit differently, which isn't, which is not great, but is fixable as long as we know what scale they are to. So that one is all scaled to something. Let's first of all apply all transforms and now try to scale it by 0.4. So that is closer but not really. Okay, so how much do we want to scale it down? So that looks about right, so 0.32. Okay, maybe 0.30 or 0.320. Yeah, they are basically the same size now. Okay, now you apply all transforms. That's great. That's good. That's great. That's fine, fun, and dandy. Now we want to use the same material here, and we want to only keep shared bits of those cars. So let's start with this one. Okay, and I lost my stream again. Well, at least YouTube is gonna have full video. So all of those bits here, they are distinct to Cabrio version. Right, right. Maybe not those. Those parts of doors are also Cabrio specific, but we'll sit on that for now. Now that inside of this window frame, that is Cabrio specific. Okay, we are back with our stream. Though the connection speed is atrocious. I don't know what's wrong with my Wi-Fi today, and I am sorry for this massive inconvenience. I hope it clears itself sooner rather than later. So those bits are... I'm now separating Cabrio specific and shared geometry from this sports car. So that is Cabrio specific. So let's separate this into its own selection here. Okay, so apparently there's more. So this bit here is also Cabrio specific. Okay. That is good. Now, this door, let's just drop it. This door here, let's also just drop it because we have those doors as part of sedan as well. Okay. Oh, well, that's inconvenient. That's not convenient either. Let's select everything here. Let's separate, that's our seat. Those faces are our trunk. Okay. Okay, no. What about you? Yeah, you have correct trunk. So we'll use that. Let's use that door. Separate that door. Okay, that's good. Now seat, yeah. Let's actually separate this seat. I like it because it doesn't have those extra diagonals. Now steering wheel, that, and engine block. Let's separate you. You are our vehicle interior. And from that, now we can separate geometry that is specific to just sedan. So we know it goes all the way to here. Yeah, I guess those, yeah, that's the problem. This needs to be cut in two to be shared, so I'll just keep this whole thing as sedan specific. Now this roof. Oh, what's wrong with this face though? Well, that looks about right. So let's separate that. Hide it. Oh, okay. So we have that interior here. Oh, they have those sneaky indie stone developers. That wasn't here before. When I was animating vanilla vehicles, that interior compartment was not here before. They have added it. Aha! Aha! That is good, actually. That's kinda really good. Um, so, yep, and that, if we keep this interior compartment as part of shared geometry, we can then open this hatch and it will be there. Okay, that's great. That is good. I'm kinda excited about it. Hey, yeah. Though we might have to fix this geometry then a little bit. Because you see it's sticking here above, which I don't like, but I can fix it. Oh, seriously, I can. Okay, that's what we are gonna do then. Cool, cool beans. Well, maybe that thing here will also move to sedan specific geometry. Good, good. Okay, so that's our windshield. Let's also separate it. Why is there inside to this windshield? I am a lot less excited about this. Let's drop that. And let's sort out this mess here. So let's drop that face. Let's drop that face, that face, and that face. Do we have back face culling here? Yeah, accidentally clicked here on render, and that will put Blender to sleep for a bit while it activates its engine. Okay, let's go back to just textures, back face culling. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That is fine. Okay, now those two. Let's Alt M selection, move them down just a scooch, like so. Then vertices, auto weld, magnet, vertex mode, and return those two vertices here and those two vertices here. So now we have a little bit of a gap here. Oh, shit, no. No or yes? Yes or no? Okay, let's undo all of that and select that, that face, those two along with those. Okay, now Alt M selection. That's okay. Now that vertex here, let's move that along the axis a bit down and select, no, so that's okay. Now that vertex here, let's slide you a little bit in, and now we have two more vertices here, of this one and that one. That need to be moved, well, first of all, down a bit and scaled along X to move closer a bit. Okay. So now let's select this whole edge loop here that I tried several times to select but failed. Well, select in one click but failed. Now let's extrude just, oh yeah, to make them quite obvious. And with magnet mode on, let's weld those insides to outsides. Okay, yeah. Now what I forgot to do is this is supposed to be specific to sedans, and this interior bit, yeah, that's all good. So that geometry is now sorted out. Okay, okay. Now what's with this bit here? Does that match everything we need? So those two, let's split them. Control J, okay. And I believe that one is also something to be joined into here. Good. Now. Why are you so drastically different? Okay, so let's make those two sedan specific too as well. And those two are supposed to be sedan specific then. So drop those out of here. Now that's okay, but we want to fill in this gap now. And that gap needs to be filled by having those faces here, those two faces here, and I guess those faces here. and we're missing one face here. Well, that's not a big issue. I just need the sample of those UV coordinates so I can extrude from those. So Control J, edit. So first thing, let's take that and move it to weld in here. Now here we have, let's take that edge and fill in between them. Yep, and that about covers that up. Now that bit here, like I mentioned, we are gonna use this hatch, but we need it to slide. Oh, okay. Let's go to transparent mode and select all those vertices around here. Now move along y-axis to, yeah, about here, yes. Okay. And now move along the z-axis like so. Oh, now you have welded ship. Yeah, should have seen that coming. Separate selection. That, oh. Get rid of this Cabrio trunk. And we'll need to add a filler around this trunk space here. Okay. Let's take those around. Now let's extrude. Yeah, let's extrude them up quite substantially. Select this face loop, separate, and now that face loop, let's weld it to, yeah. Let's weld it like that. Okay, that looks nice. That does look nice. Okay, what is next? We have this gap with that would be visible if we detach seats. So we want to get rid of it. To do that, let's select those two, extrude. Now weld that vertex here, weld that vertex here, Shift S, cursor to selected, Shift S, selected to cursor. That's our straight line here. Extrude. That one goes here, that one goes here. And two more times. Let's extrude like that. And finally, extrude. Okay, so there's not going to be a gap like that. There is this gap though. Okay. Separate selection. Let's join in. Extrude. And weld that one back here, that one in here. And those two are fine as is. Good. Though I guess there needs to be a cut here for symmetry reasons. And why do we have this vertex here? Let's dissolve it. Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay, so that was this vertex here. Let's slide into here. Cool. Yeah, I am sorry for this. I just feel like I'm too low energy to keep working on this animation for now. So I would like to take a break from my usual streaming. And let's just play some Zomboid instead. What do you think about it? Hey, PZK Sport. I think that would be a good idea. We have this test game of ours with debug mode on, but I want to start something here. So that is something I'm gonna do now. So first of all,